Inter are absolutely over the moon. They lead by 1-0, and we've barely had 7 minutes on the clock. And Marinelli just speaking in his ear there, waiting to see if that goal is going to be given. There didn't seem to be any reason at all why that goal would be disallowed, and the ball's been kicked by Varela to Marinelli, the referee. There seems to be a bit of confusion here on the pitch. Marinelli's now standing there with his arms wide out looking at the sidelines. I think we're just going to get back underway now with the same ball, and Monza have to kick off 1-0 down already in this clash with the league champions. And as I was saying, Inter, last opening day defeat here at the San Siro came nearly 40 years ago, September 13th, 1987, when they fell 2-0 to newly promoted Pescara. Since then, they've recorded 17 wins and 3 draws in 20 matches. Well, they're playing a newly promoted team today in Monza, and they've taken an early lead here. Inter came into this game getting 3 wins and 2 draws across their pre-season friendlies, completed their preparations with a 2-1 victory over Juventus and a 1-0 win against Real Betis. They were the most potent attack in the country last season, scoring 89 goals in the league, 24 more goals than any other team, leading them to that 11-point eventual cushion ahead of second place Napoli. So dream start for Inter Milan as they look to defend their title this season. 8.5 minutes gone. They lead Monza by 1-0 here at the San Siro. Stoney out to the left-hand side. DeMarco gets it under control. Checks, goes back all the way once again to Bastoni. Bastoni rolls it back into the penalty area. Martinez, and straight away Monza's body language doesn't seem as peppy as it did before they conceded that goal. Into Esposito, just touches down to Diouf. Lautaro Martinez in midfield gets it across to Chaniloglu, who's pulling the strings already here for Inter. Bastoni looked to play forward into, that was Diouf, had run all the way in from right wing back. It's been deflected, goes out for a throw, which DeMarco takes. Falls into Zielinski, nice little ball into Diouf. He helps it on to Esposito. He gets a shot, deflected up, and goalkeeper Pizzignaccio comes to claim it at the edge of his penalty area, just bowls it out quickly to Birondelli, who's now switched over to the left-hand side, it would look. Just puts that one out for a throw-in. So they need to get hold of themselves pretty quickly here, and Carboni just slows it down at the back. Gets it back again from Lucchesi, the loanee from Fiorentina. Nice ball in that time to Varela. Varela holds it up, but he was just offside, went a little bit too early there, but still held the ball up quite nicely, which has got to be promising for Monza. If they can get the ball into the Portuguese front man just a little bit quicker, that's gonna help them in this game. But as it happens now, Inter have the ball in the centre circle. A little touch off again by Esposito. They look to switch it out to the right hand side for Diouf, but Lucchesi comes over, sweeps and gives it back to the goalkeeper. He plays forward, one in the air by Xabi Mangas. He helps it on again, but that's just fallen to the feet once more of Chaniloglu, and the Turk just touches it to his left to Bastoni, drops in between the defenders to get it on the halfway line and sprays the ball out to the left to DeMarco. Doesn't look to go forward, just checks in straight away back to Bastoni, and here we can see that Akanji's moved over to the right, and in fact Bisek is now almost playing as a right back in the traditional sense in possession, with Diouf right up the pitch in front of him, so a slight shift in shape when Inter get the ball, with Chaniloglu triggering it by dropping into the back line. Ball played forward by Monza. That's a nice little touch by Varela to try and get round past his man. Was he fouled? He's convinced he was, but Marinelli is not agreeing with him, and that ball just is now back in possession of Akanji at the back for Inter Milan. Help round the corner by Zielinski, help round the corner by Esposito. Martinez just tackled by Quadio, who launches it forward, and easy enough once more for Bisek just to step in, plays it back to his goalkeeper Martinez. Martinez goes to the edge of his box, plays it out to DeMarco once again, really struggling with the goalkeeping jersey that the keeper's got on here. Martinez, it's clashing with the Inter Milan players, something like you wouldn't believe. From a commentary position, it is, short of him wearing his gloves, it's virtually impossible to tell. Free kick here to Inter down the left-hand side. It was Bastoni overlapping from centre half. I think it's just been brought down by Bakuni. Looks like it's going to be a free kick. Does the referee say he got the ball? No, the referee hasn't given a free kick. Marinelli said he got the ball, which, looking at that replay, I'm not sure Marinelli got the best view of that, because Bastoni just touched the ball and saw Bakuni coming across him to take it down. Bastoni potentially suggesting that to the referees, back to his feet, throw in to Inter then on the left-hand side. DiMarco takes it. Juric already looking a little bit perplexed at his team being a goal down here in the San Siro. 12.5 minutes gone. Unofficial broadcast here for you. Don't forget to watch the pictures through your local broadcasters, but you can always tune into our commentary here as Inter work the ball all the way back to Martinez. Just outside of his area now, just moves up to the D, rolls it under his feet with his right foot, plays it into midfield, and Martinez, he kept 4 clean sheets last season, and he's got this opportunity now to step into the limelight, being selected as the #1 goalkeeper following Swiss international Sommer's departure in this summer. He's been the backup to Sommer for the last couple of seasons, and Kevin mentioned in his press conference yesterday that he's got absolute confidence in Martinez being the #1 choice for the coming season. He plays it forward again. That's a nice little touch off to DiMarco. DiMarco races forward towards the Monza penalty area, gets into the box. He's being shepherded out to the left-hand side, and that's a good bit of defending in the end by Bakuni. He tracked his man and just stuck his left leg out as the cross came in, and that ball deflects out for a throw-in down the left-hand side near the corner flag. Cross comes in from DiMarco. Is that a deflection of the Monza defender? It would appear so. I think it's going to be a corner to Inter. So Chanaloglu is making his way out to the far-hand side, the left-hand side. He's going to take this corner. Just seeing the goal back, and what a strike it was by that man, Chanaloglu. It came through 3 players, which might have left the keeper a little bit unsighted, but still feel that Pizzignaccio should have done better with that strike in the 6.5 minute. Referee Marinelli just making sure that number 95 Bastoni isn't impeding the goalkeeper. It's going to be an in-swinging corner. No, it's taken short, in fact. Played out to the edge of the box, little touch. In it comes now from Chanaloglu from a much better angle. Tell you what, there was a arms on the back there of Akanji, but he's not appealing to the referee. It did look like there was a lot of contact at the far post, which saw Manuel Akanji go to the floor. It was Xabi Mangas marking him, but no appeals from the Swiss international. So goal kick taken by Monza, launched forward, one in the air, headed out by Inter for throw-in on the far side, the right-hand side, which Bakun goes to retrieve the ball. He's going to take the throw-in. He's got his work cut out for him today. The 20-year-old right wing back is a tall lad, 6'4", physically imposing, and he's been impressive with his running metrics. Usually comes off the bench, in fairness, getting a start today. He's up against DiMarco, the leading assist maker, as I said earlier in the commentary, from last season. Big test there for the young Italian to go up against such an established player in Federico DiMarco. Bastoni has the ball deep inside his own half, clips one forward, looking for the run off the ball by Esposito. Pizzignaccio comes out of his area, doesn't get a good enough clearance forward, brought down in the middle of the park by Barella, but he's giving it away now, and here comes Xabi Mangas. He breaks forward, gives it to Mount. Mount turns, goes back inside, plays the ball across to the young Frenchman Foe Ondoa. Ondoa plays it back into the back line, so Quadio, the Ivory Coast player, clips the ball in towards Varela. Varela unable to hold it up, and Inter Milan clear their lines. It goes out for a throw-in by the feet of Christian Kivu. Birindelli comes over to retrieve the ball. He's going to take the throw-in. The Monza captain plays it back to his fellow Italian, Carboni. Carboni opts to go central to Lucchesi. Lucchesi, 23 years old, on loan from Fiorentina. Quadio, 20 years old. plays forward towards Kalpani. Kalpani started the game getting a few nice touches, a few nice spaces earlier in the first 10 minutes or so, but he's drifted out of the game as quickly as he drifted in. He's going to need to get on the ball a bit more if he's going to do something. And in fact, Quadio's also on loan from Fiorentina as well. He's going to have to be absolutely top of his game to keep Lautaro Martinez out of the goals today as well. Ball played forward, which Pizzinacco comes out of his box and kicks it back up the field. Confusion there between Chanloglu and Barella. Almost falls to the on-rushing Kalpani, but he gets unable to get the ball, and Bastoni calmly just plays it back to Martinez. Martinez quickly into Barella. Barella and Chanloglu seem to have sorted out their communication issues there, so just exchange passes. Ball goes into Esposito, tries to turn quickly, but runs into Quadio. Quadio plays it into midfield to Kalpani. Kalpani gets it out to the right-hand side now. Now Bakuni gets a chance to move forward. Takes a touch, looks for his options, goes back inside to Quadio. Quadio centre field now to Foe Ondua. He just turns away, helps it out to the left-hand side, and Jay-Z gets it forward to Carboni. Carboni into the inter-half, tries to play it into Varela, but well read by Akanji. He plays the ball out, and I think the offside flag has gone again, has it? No, not too sure what's happened there. I think it's going to be a drop ball for some reason. Didn't really see what I think the players are having a bit of a laugh there as well. I don't think they really know what's happened. It's going to be an uncontested drop ball, which looks like it's going to be given back to the feet of Carboni. It is. He just touches the ball back to Mount. Mount takes a touch. Left-footed, clips one in behind, looking for the run of Birindelli. Nice vision again from the 19-year-old Matisse Mount. Academy product here at Monza. He's got a very nice left foot. There's a couple of passes he's tried to clip in behind and was unable to get it into the path of Birindelli the way he would have liked. But it's a promising 20 minutes from the point of view of Inter. They'll be delighted with how they've started their campaign here. Monza, though, they've settled back in a little bit after a slow start. But haven't seen that high tempo, high pressing that you'd expect from an Juric team. They're trying to keep possession of the ball. They're not looking to go forward too quickly. That said, I suppose Inter haven't really given them the opportunity to counter them quickly. Inter have been very good at keeping possession high up the pitch and then getting into a defensive shape quickly if they do lose it. Here's DeMarco in the centre of the pitch. Tries to touch it off to Martinez. Doesn't come off that time. Well read by Lucchesi. He gets it out to the right-hand side now. Now Kopani comes inside on his left foot. Spins a couple of times. Held up by Zielinski. The Polish international's done a really good job there. DeMarco helps him out. And that ball goes out for a throw-in down the right-hand side. The youthful face of Bakuni goes to get the ball. He's going to take the throw-in, plays it back to Quadio. Quadio over to the left, and Carboni. Quicker ball this time, out to Birindelli. Birindelli looks to play it into Varela. Nice little layoff that time by Borelli. Goes to Mount. Mount, all left foot and languid style. Gets the ball to Birindelli, his captain. He comes inside on his right foot. Helps it around the corner. Nice use of the body again by Varela. Bounces it into the middle of the park, and this time Zielinski has to hook it away. That was a nice bit of play there for the away team. They get caught offside once again, but nice bit of link up, nice bit of play to get them into an interesting position in and around the Inter box, but unable to complete the attacking move. Inter start again. Coming up to 21.5 minutes gone here. Inter 1, Monza 0 at the San Siro. Let's have a quick look, see if we can bring you some of the other scores around The grounds were also taking place right now as Udinese and Como, and that's currently 0-0. So the only goal in the Italian top flight so far is Inter's goal, scored by Hakan Çalhanoğlu back in the 6th minute of the game. As Monza try and get into the penalty area, and once again, a little bit scrappy from Inter on the defensive side of things there. Foul's been given as Barella came in to clear it away. Akanji just got caught trying to be a bit too casual, and yeah, it looked like it was going to fall to a Monza player, but it didn't. This Lombardy derby represents more than just 3 points, though. It's a geographical pride, of course, at stake. Just 15 kilometres northeast of Milan. Monza is historically linked to the capital, but fiercely independent, and they're fiercely trying to get into the box again here. Cross comes in, headed away by Akanji. Bisek was just behind him. DeMarco tries to get it down the pitch. Is that a free kick? Is that a foul on Zielinski? Yes, it is. Bucani with an angelic look on his face, but I think he knows that he was just a little bit too forceful there. In fact, it was Esposito dropping in nice and deep. The fans have travelled in massive numbers for Monza tonight. They're occupying the entire southeast tier of the Piazza. And Inter Milan have kept this incredible run of theirs going. They've scored at least one goal in 131 consecutive domestic league matches now. It's a run that goes back over 3 seasons. Monza start again in their own half. Carboni comes forward, tries to play it forward early, looking for the run of Varela, headed away once more by Akanji. Ball's played out to the right wing-back, Diouf. Diouf now strides forward, plays it through to Esposito, tries to play it back down the line again to Diouf, and that's good cover by Carboni. I've been quite impressed with Carboni so far. The goal did come from his side of the pitch, but he did a good job initially shepherding Diouf to play the ball back into a seemingly harmless position from 30 yards out for Çalhanoğlu, but the Turkish midfielder struck it with venom from distance. Goalkeeper should have done better, but certainly couldn't lay any blame for that goal at the door of Carboni, who is, as I say, him and Birindelli have been doing a good job of locking down that Monza left flank so far in the opening 25 minutes. Inter come down the other side as a result. DeMarco has the ball, waits for movement, doesn't see any, so plays it back to Bastoni. Bastoni infield to Çalhanoğlu, and once again we're seeing that shape where Bisek comes out to a more traditional right-back position. Diouf gets further up the pitch and turns into a bit of a back four in possession, with Bastoni going into the left-back slot as well. Bastoni now comes in field, chops it round the corner. Skillfully left by Zielinski, lets it run to DeMarco. DeMarco in field once again to Zielinski in the centre circle. Little ball round the corner, helped on by Diouf, who's come central now. Bisek is playing as a right winger. Zielinski getting on the ball once more, plays it left to Bastoni. Bastoni looks for options, slows it all down again, rolls it under his left studs, gives it to Zielinski. Now Monza come out and try and do something. That lets Inter start playing some intricate 1-2s around the box. Falls to Martinez. Martinez helps it on to Bisek. Martinez goes all the way out to the right wing, chops it back. Plays a 1-2 with Bisek. Bisek infield again to Martinez, helps around the corner to DeMarco, who's coming in off the right touchline now for some reason. He's moved all the way over to the right-hand side. Lovely ball. In comes Zielinski. He shoots. Oh, my word, that's so close. Trying to curl it top corner. Lovely bit of bend and dip on the shot. Just goes wide of Pizanacio's left-hand post. Just needed to come back in a little bit more. In fact, it was Nico Barella who's taken that effort. Esposito actually came flying into the 6-yard box, trying to get his head on it. It was quite close to getting a contact. Chance there for Inter, in which case Nacho plays forward. Molt gets it down in midfield once again. Turns left-footed, goes all the way out to the right-hand side. That's a good-looking pass, trying to pick out the run of Bakun from right back. Out comes the goalkeeper Martinez. He ends up bashing into Bakun, goes down, gets back up again. I've just seen his goalkeeper top a lot closer up now than I can see from the stands, but just looking at my monitor, he is virtually wearing the same colour as the outfield players, which is bonkers. I don't know how that's been allowed to happen. Just clips one out to the right side, and Pasek has to take a heavy touch. Loses out. Diouf wins it back for his teammate. Rolls it under his left boot to try and turn away from Birandelli, but Monza quickly get around, put the pressure on, and close it down again. Inter haven't been massively fluid in this first half, it has to be said. Monza is sticking at it, they're working hard, and will be hoping to catch Inter on the break at some point. They come forward now, and Martinez uses his body to get away from Quadio. Tries to play it into the on-rushing Diouf, but that's good cover once again from Lucchesi. He just plays it out to the right-hand side, and the ball's now with the right winger, Colpani. Colpani tries to get past his man, Bastoni is unable to do so. Chaniloglu, nice little ball, straight ball into Esposito. Nice little touch off again from the young Italian striker. In comes the cross from DeMarco, goes behind for a corner. And Pio Esposito, 21 years old now. He's still considered the wonder kid of Italian football. Doesn't have a lot of competition for that at the moment. He won Italy's prestigious 2025 Golden Boy Award, and likely to be the first choice striker alongside Martinez this season, so we are led to believe. We're going to see how that partnership does work out, but it would be good for Esposito to really make his mark on Italian football this season, as DeMarco just puts that ball out for a goal kick. 28 minutes gone here at the San Siro, still into 1, Monza 0. Djuric pacing the sidelines and then suddenly crouches down as the ball's launched forward. Varela wins another header. That's a good little touch by Colpani, gets it away, gets out to the right hand side. Nice link up between Varela and Colpani. Colpani touches it back to the wing back, Bacuna infield through Mount left footed, good ball into the feet of Colpani. Touch it. Oh, that's a wonderful goal by Varela. What an equaliser that is for Monza. Mount again at the heart of it with the intelligent ball into the Portuguese striker's feet. He rolls his man, shoots across the goal right-footed, and it goes into the bottom right-hand corner of Josep Martinez's goal. That is the first real moment of inspiration for Monza. First time they've played a bit quicker, a bit more direct, a bit more vertical, and it's come from the creative vision of Mount. That left-footed pass into Varela was a thing of beauty. Such a good move here from Monza. Credit to Colpani, he held the ball up well. Bakun just played it inside to Mount, took a couple of touches, and he made that ball into Varela look so simple. Varela's held off the strength of Akanji from behind him, rolled him, and put his shot into the far corner. It's a debut goal for the 21-year-old who came in from Benfica in the summer. Gustavo Varela is off the mark in Italy, and what an important goal that could already be for Monza in this Lombardy derby. Chivu is not a happy man on the sideline. The Romanian is screaming instructions to his team. I don't think anybody really saw Monza getting back into this first half. It's been a solid but flat performance from them so far, and then suddenly a change of pace by Mount, and Varela is able to get his first league goal. And of course, he got a brace last weekend against Avellino. I think the Monza fans will be looking forward to seeing more of Mount and Varela linking up like that, given the movement and the vision to help that goal come to fruition. So here come into, now suddenly they're moving with a little bit more pace and determination into. The ball goes up to Esposito. He's holding it up in the area. Tries to lay it off. That's well read by the midfielder Ondoa, but he gives the ball away to DeMarco. DeMarco shoots from distance. That's comfortable enough for Pizzinaccio to gather. DeMarco just dragging that one a little bit. He was closed down quickly by Quadio. Ball into Esposito again. He's holding the ball up well, Esposito. He gets a turn and shot from 25 yards. That flies over the bar, but I'm liking Esposito's traditional big number 9 play here so far today. He's holding the ball up well. He's rolling his man well. Nice little layoffs, but this time he opted to roll and shoot, and the left-footed strike wasn't that far away, always rising over Pizzignacio's crossbar, but again, Esposito certainly more involved in the game than his captain, Lautaro Martinez, at this point in proceedings. And we're 32 minutes into the game here. Inter Milan 1, Monza 1. And it's all for Internazionale to do if they're going to continue this excellent run of theirs, winning at home on the opening day of the new Italian season. Pinched by Bisek, he moves forward to the halfway line. Slows it down once again. We've been saying that a lot about Inter in this game so far. They getting the ball and then just, rather than going quick, they're slowing it down. Varela's just down on his backside at the moment. I think his boots come off. I think he might have just been trodden on by Akanji as he was looking to move away from them. And I was going to say before the game, don't write off Monza's threat on the road. I mean, the Brianzoli scored 2 or more goals in 6 of their last competitive away matches during the promotion-winning campaign. Yeah, and of course, in the second division, at a lower level, but they are clearly players that are capable of coming forward and doing something. And they've got that advantage of already playing a competitive match as well. I mean, it was last Friday that they had their cup game against Avellino. So, I mean, a competitive game is always more useful than a pre-season friendly. And Juric, who's brought in, started the job on 1st of July. He's been brought in to do a job, and he'll be pleased with how that job has started. Some promising signs here for Monza at the San Siro. Good defensive work once again by Monza, and then they come forward, and Lautaro Martinez tracking back into midfield. Well, he's cleaned out the Monza midfielder. That's a yellow card for Inter's captain. Just trying to see who it was he clattered into there. It's Bakun, the youngster, who's felt the Argentinian's left boot scrape down, sorry, his right boot scraped down his left shin. Just seeing Varela's goal again. He rolled his man so comfortably then. It was such a classy finish from the 21-year-old Portuguese player. Clearly an intelligent signing from Benfica. Came in for 2.1 million British pounds. That's about 2.5 million euros. Could be a bargain. Monza are going to need somebody to score goals, and he's already shown he's capable of doing that at the highest level of Italian football. The Monza fans in fine voice down to my right. They are almost out singing the home fans at this point. Ball goes down the left-hand side. Xabi Mangas, who's been bright, another Portuguese. He's in on loan from Sporting Club. Looking pretty bright down that left-hand channel. Ball played forward, looking for Esposito once again. He's battling once more with Quadio. Quadio loses out this time. Ball's played forward. Good cover by Carbone. Just steps in calmly. Gets the ball on his chest, plays forward. Held up by Xabi Mangas. Xabi Mangas switches it out to the right-hand side. Bakun seems to be okay again. Plays a 1-2. It's a nice 1-2 with Carpani. Bakun gets towards the byline. Can he get the cross in? Wins the corner off the sliding challenge, does he? Hard to see what has been given here, but it was DiMarco. No, I think it's just come off. Yeah, it's just come off the young Italian. DiMarco comes sliding in. Got the second bounce off his opponent. 36 minutes gone. 1-1 here at the San Siro Stadium. The Giuseppe Meazza. Famous old ground here in Italy. And Monza again in possession of the ball. Mounts just opts to turn back. Plays back into defence. Gets it back again from his defender. Clips a nice ball forward again towards Varela. Varela's movement is good, and Mounts picking him off quite nicely with those passes from deep. Akanji just got his foot to it first. Goes out for a Monza throw-in. which they take quickly and go back to Mount. I mean, the 19-year-old academy prospect is clearly the playmaker in this Monza midfield. All the traffic is going through him at the moment, and Monza's best moments are coming from that lovely left foot that he has. Ball's played forward, headed away by Esposito, back down to the feet of Martinez. He's fouled by Chloe Ondua. Seems to be. He's more of the engine room as opposed to Mount. Young Frenchman, 20 years old. Came in from Portuguese side Estoril Praia, so Monza doing some good work bringing in players from the Portuguese market. But this time, Chloe Ondua just a little bit too physical, and DeMarco's going to get the opportunity to swing this free kick in from the left-hand side, left-footed, puts his right arm up in the air. Line being held on the edge of the box, headed back across. Is it going to fall to... Oh, yes, it bounced quite nicely to Barella. He struck it on the half volley, but he's dragged it high and wide of Pisacnaccio's goal. I think it was Bisek who won the header, free header at the far post, headed it down to Barella, and he struck it, tried to control the shot, but it just kept drifting away from that right post. Long ball forward by Monza, one in midfield by Chanloglu, plays forward to Esposito, once again just helping it on to Martinez. Martinez loses out once more to Quadio. Quadio winning that battle so far. Ball's played out nicely to Xabi Mangas. Xabi Mangas looks to run at the Inter-back line, try to play a little cute ball in field to Mount, but gives it away into win it back inside their own half. Diouf touches it off to Zielinski. Zielinski being a bit quiet in midfield in the last 15 minutes. Gets it down now, plays it across to Chaniloglu. He comes forward. Right-footed ball, that's a good ball in as well to Martinez, who gives the ball away. Now, quick break here on the cards for Monza. Varela gets it out to the right-hand side, and Colpani. Three Monza players in the attacking half. Colpani tries to work something on his left foot, touches it off to Xabi Mangas. Now Monza get up in support. Players streaming forward slowly but surely. Slowed down and goes out to the left to Carboni. Carboni crosses all the way in. Oh, free header at goal in the end for Varela. And he didn't get a clean enough contact on the header. He's put it wide of Martinez's right post. Big opportunity there for Monza. Lovely move, and I think Carboni's pace was just a little bit slow, and Vargas was looking to generate the pace himself with the header. Couldn't then direct it the way that he wanted it to. Esposito out on the left-hand side, holds it up, plays it back to Dimarco. Dimarco inside to Bastoni. Bastoni shifts it across to Akanji, into trying to inject a bit of tempo into this game, but not really being able to do so far. That's a heavy touch from Borelli. Has to go back to Bisek. Bisek goes across central to Chanloglu. Chanloglu plays a little ball out to the left-hand side. Round the corner from Dimarco. Dimarco helps it on again. Martinez linking up with Esposito. Monza go flying into tackles there, two of them. Two Inter players hit the deck. There's a free kick to the champions. Trying to see who's down there, and Chanloglu is one of them. No, sorry, that's Latada Martinez who's just getting to his feet. I think Coadio is the player who's adjudged to have fouled Inter's captain. Barella just about brings that ball down, plays it out to the right-hand side. Diouf touches in field, played 1-2 with Bisek. Bisek keeps the ball moving over to the left-hand side. Bastoni out to Dimarco, takes a touch. Dimarco, they've kept Dimarco playing quite deep in this half so far, Monza. They'll be pleased with what they've been able to achieve there, stopping the creativity of Federico Dimarco. Here comes Varela now, storming forward with the ball, touches it to his right. Colpani onto his left foot. Can he get a shot away? He can. It's deflected and goes out for a corner kick. Bastoni just stood his ground as Colpani looked to chop back in on that left boot and get his shot away. Shot came in, Bastoni puts it out for a corner. Monza certainly showing that they belong to be in this game. Mount goes over to the far-hand side, the Monza right. No, in fact, it's not Mount. Apologies. It's going to be Colpani who takes that corner. Mount is in the penalty area, standing next to Josep Martinez. Now he comes out of that area. He comes really short, but the ball swung back in. goes all the way across the penalty area. They're going to be able to keep that in on the far side, Monza. They do so. Birindelli does a good job to scamper out to that touchline, then tries to go outside Diouf, but runs out of pitch. That goes out for a goal kick. 3 minutes left past whatever stoppages Marinelli decides to add on at the end of the first half. Chanaloglu deep inside the Inter midfield. Takes a couple of touches, looks to his right, just plays a short one to Akanji. Akanji to his left. Bastoni gets on the ball. He comes forward towards the halfway line, plays it to DiMarco to his left, gives it back to the Italian central defender, left-footed, looks for movement, doesn't see anything, so touches it once again to Akanji. Monza are doing a really good job here of not letting Inter out, but equally not pressing so insanely that gaps open up behind them. Solid shape here from Juric's team out of possession. So Inter go long to Esposito. He holds it up nicely, plays it off to Diouf. Diouf, left-footed, comes in field. Little ball to Chanaloglu, who then sweeps it elegantly out to the left-hand side, and DiMarco. DiMarco touches it off to Bastoni. Clever ball into the feet of Martinez. Martinez crowded out once again. Good defending by Monza. They clear their lines, and Akanji just drops calmly back to the halfway line, collects the ball, turns, looks up, plays it in field to Hakan Chanaloglu. Once again, the deepest of the Inter players. Zielinski, nice ball round the corner, well read by Quadio, just comes out with the ball, touches it off once again to Ondoa. Ondoa sprints through the middle of the park, tried to play the ball in behind to Mangas, but left a little bit too much of it on the floor, and that was easy enough for Bissek to step in and intercept, and now Inter have it on the right with Barella. Barella's been pretty quiet in this first half, haven't mentioned his name too many times. He's given the ball in field to Akanji. Akanji out to DiMarco. Clever little ball down the left to Lautaro Martinez. He now has the ball. First time he's really had a chance to run. To DiMarco. DiMarco crosses. Goes all the way across the 6-yard box. No Inter player chasing in there. And then Diouf leans into his man, and a free kick is given for that foul on the captain Birindelli. Diouf goes over to check that his opponent is okay. Birindelli is currently on the deck, off the pitch, so no real need for this game to wait to get going again, other than just good sportsmanship from Diouf, checking that the player he fouled is indeed okay. Cynical side, we might suggest that Birindelli is just using this opportunity to run down the clock towards the half-time whistle. They'll be very, very pleased with a 1-1 situation at half-time, if that is indeed how the score looks when the half-time whistle goes. Still waiting to see how much time is going to be added on at the end of the first period. Got 30 seconds of normal time remaining in it. Free kick launched forward by Pizzignaccio, the Monza goalkeeper. One in the air by Akanji, brought down nicely by Chanaloglu into Esposito. He helps it on very nice indeed to Barella. Barella's now got the opportunity to run down the right-hand side, chops it back inside, but Mount does a good bit of defensive work in midfield this time, then drifts away from two, wins the ball back, beats two players very nicely indeed. Foa Ondoa goes to Carboni to Birindelli. Birindelli knocks it down the line nicely. Did Xabi Mangas, was he able to stay on side there? I think he was, and then as he won the free kick, he has. The Inter defender has gone flying in there. I thought Xabi Mangas might have been offside. He wasn't. He's just taken a touch and forced Chanaloglu to come flying in to try and win the ball. He didn't. The goal scorer is into the book. Got nowhere near the ball. Xabi Mangas was away there, but unable to continue his run. Free kick to Monza. They are certainly finishing this first half in the ascendancy. Mount, 5.8 kilometres run so far. He's going to be on this free kick, I think. Inter holding their line just in line with the D. Mount thinks about taking a short one, then opts against it. Ooh, that's a clever one. Played down the line. In comes the cross. All the way across the 6-yard box. Wow, that's a nice free kick routine there from Monza. Mount looked like he was going to swing it into the box. Then it was touched down the outside where Birindelli sprinted onto it nicely. I think he was offside, in fact, actually. That would have been called back had anything come of it. Cross went all the way over the 6-yard box on the floor. No Monza player able to get a touch despite three of them crashing the box. We're going to have 1 minute of stoppages here at the end of the first half. Lautaro Martinez is asking some questions of our referee, Marinelli. In fact, the half-time whistle has gone. So, half-time here at the San Siro. It's Inter Milan 1, Monza 1. As the scoreline would suggest, Inter not having this game all their own way by any stretch of the imagination. Çalhanoğlu opened the scoring in the 7th minute for the home team before Gustavo Varela equalised on the stroke of the half hour. And that's where we're at half-time. It is 1 apiece. Work for Kiwi to do in the break. Juric will be very happy as he makes his way down the tunnel, heading to the Monza changing room. We'll be back in about 10, 12 minutes or so to bring you the beginning of the second half. Welcome back to the San Siro, where it's all square at the break in Milan, as it's 1 each between Inter and Monza. The Scudetto holders wasted no time in getting their title defence underway. Çalhanoğlu firing his side ahead after just 6 minutes following good work down the right-hand side by Diouf. His shot from about 30 yards went straight down the middle of the goal. Power beating Pizzinaccio, but it looked like the goalkeeper could have done a lot better with it. From there, it looked like it was going to be quite straightforward for Chivu's teams. They pushed to double their lead, Varela coming closest, but Monza found an equaliser. Varela twisting past Akanji following a nice ball in from Mout, and he found the bottom left-hand corner. So despite Inter's domination, it's actually Monza, who have had the higher XG, 0.55, compared to Inter's somewhat measly 0.19. It's been all Inter on the ball, 69%, but as you can see from that XG stat, they've not done a lot with it. 6 shots on goal, only 8 touches in the opposition box. I think Chivu would have been expecting a lot more from his team as they start their title defence today. We check back in with the supercomputer. Inter's chance to fall into 69.7% of winning this game. Nearly up to 8% for Monza, who can take all 3 points. They'll be battling history to do that. Inter haven't lost an opening day at the San Siro in over 40 years. And a draw sitting at around 22.5%. Livio Marinelli's been in control of this game. A few yellow cards have come out, but he's not felt the need to have too heavy a touch on proceedings. It's 2 Inter players that are in the book, with Çalhanoğlu and Martinez, the captain, being the players booked. Standouts for me in the first half, absolutely the 19-year-old academy product for Monza, Matisse Mout. He's been the elegance of both teams in midfield. He's the one picking the lock, playing the balls in behind for the on-running Xabi Mangas in particular, but it was this little reverse ball, quite Adam Wharton-like, that he played it through to Gustavo Varela, who then span and fired home the equaliser. Varela's also impressed me, I have to say. Lots of running up front from the 21-year-old Portuguese, signed for about €2.5 million from Benfica's second team over this summer. Xabi Mangas down the right-hand side, on loan from Sporting. He's done a lot of running today as well, being quite threatening down the outside. Inter, flat. Not really enough from Inter at all. The back three have looked a little bit shaky at times. Haven't seen Çalhanoğlu, Barella and Zielinski get hold of the ball, get control of the midfield as you would have liked. DeMarco's barely had the opportunity to put a dangerous ball in. Martinez has been virtually non-existent. Esposito has been leading the line as well as he can do, but they're going to have to find different levels, different gears in this second half if they're going to see off this very plucky performance from Monza. Let's have a quick look, see what else is happening in the other game in Serie A. Well, at half-time there is Udinese 1, Como 0. Como, of course, the surprise package of last season in Italy's top flight, and it's Camara who scored the goal in the 29th minute for Udinese. The left wing back Hassan Camara scoring the goal that sees Udinese lead Cesc Fabregas's Como by a goal to 0. Back here in Milan, we'll be getting back underway in the San Siro very soon, I'm sure. And Chivu's entering his second full season here at Inter, and got a spectacular double last year, League and Cup, which matched managers like Roberto Mancini and Jose Mourinho. In fact, he's the first foreign manager since Mourinho to guide Inter to the league crown. And we are back underway now at the San Siro. Inter now going from right to left. Not aware of any changes made at half-time by either manager. I'll update you as soon as I know if that has the case. I'll tell you what, Martinez hasn't changed his goalkeeping jersey at half-time either, still making it quite difficult to identify him from a distance, other than the fact, of course, he's wearing the goalkeeper gloves. But crazy choice of goalkeeping kit there. DiMarco plays forward, nice ball into Esposito again. He holds it up very nicely, touches it off to Martinez. Martinez now going for a run down the left-hand side, well held up once more by Quadio. Quadio's done a really good job marshalling the Argentine so far. Monza try and come forward. Zielinski keeps it in on the left-hand touchline. Little ball in field to Barella. Barella spinning around, keeps possession, gives it back to the Polish midfielder. Chanloglu on the left, tries to play forward. That's deflected off a Monza player. Esposito comes to put Quadio under a bit of pressure. In fact, wins it back and then gets a throw-in off the right wing-back, Bacuna. So a good start there by Esposito. Brightest spark of Inter in the first period. He's looking to have an impact on this game. Throwing comes all the way into the penalty area to him. He turns and shoots, deflects away for a corner. Far too easy that for Inter to get a throw into the chest of Esposito. He brought it down, just turned, got his shot away, deflected away for the first corner of the second half. Curtis Jones is making his way back to his seats. Not on the bench today, but Jed Spence and John Stones are for Kivu, and might see them a little bit later on. Corner comes in by DiMarco, headed away by Monza. It goes midway inside the Monza half now. Ball works over more centrally to Zielinski. He's able to come forward, gets it out to DiMarco once again, takes one touch, crosses left-footed. Goalkeeper goal, my word, that's another terrible bit of goalkeeping by Pizzignac. He punched the ball and all he had to do was gather it. It was not a good punch. It fell to Zielinski. Goalkeeper still on the floor near the penalty spot. Zielinski's not even had to make the cleanest of contacts with the ball, and it's in the back of the net. That is a terrible bit of goalkeeping, again, by the 24-year-old Italian. He's cost his side both goals here at the San Siro. Inter score early in the half once again. That'll settle them down, and Monza have to do it once more. What was Pizzignac doing there? The cross from DiMarco was low across the 6-yard box. It wasn't particularly threatening. He's just punched it flat to the edge of the box, where Zielinski's hit it first time. Hasn't even made the cleanest of contacts, but the goalkeeper's on his front because he's still unable to get back into position following that tame punch. And it is 2-1 to Inter Milan. Great start for Kivu's team after whatever he said at half-time. Juric will be fuming at his goalkeeper, who, of course, is only really in the team today because of Demba Tian being out suspended, and that's looking like a costly suspension right now for the away team. So Inter lead by 2-1 in the Lombardy derby. Zielinski, his last goal for Inter 127 days ago against Cagliari in the Italian top division. He's got an important goal here today. Ball's played forward to Esposito. Once again holds it up superbly. Being thrown all over the place by the Monza defence. Keeps possession. In fact, the referee has given a free kick. Excellent hold-up play once again by Esposito. I know a few clubs in England have been looking at his profile. Big, strong centre forward. Doing a lot of good work outside the penalty area. I haven't really seen him do too much inside it yet, though. He did win a corner a moment or two ago. Nice little triangles here from Inter as they start to play with a bit more tempo. Esposito goes up for the header, won by Lucchesi, gets the ball away. And once again, Mount glides through that midfield. That's a lovely ball out to the outside. Martinez comes through, wins the ball, clears it, the goalkeeper, all the way out for a throw-in on the far hand side. And Monza needs to get the ball moving through the youngster Mount as often as they can. He's absolutely vital to their chances of getting back into this one. Elegant midfielder, let's say, reminding me of Adam Wharton at Crystal Palace, the way he just moves across the pitch. Here comes Varela, another player who's moving with nice style, tries to play through to Xabi Mangas. Was he brought down? No, the referee says no. In fact, if anything, Xabi Mangas nudged the Inter defender who went flying into his goalkeeper there, but back to his feet. I think that was Bisek who was just putting the cover on. Got the nudge in the back from Xabi Mangas. Ball goes back to the goalkeeper Martinez. Out to the right-hand side, and Diouf just keeps it simple, goes back to Bisek. Bisek across to the goalkeeper once again, and they come out the other side now with DeMarco. DeMarco opens up, knocks it past his man, Bakun, into Martinez. Well held up once again by Quadia, but the ball's broken in midfield once again. Martinez tries to take a touch and mounts there, picks it up, plays it into Varela, gets it back again, back to Foe Ondua. Foe Ondua plays the ball out to the right-hand side, and Kalpani, left-footed, glides in from that right-hand touchline. Slows the ball down, has a look for movement, touches it back to Foe Ondua. Ondua keeps the ball moving into Quadio. Not the best ball forward from Quadio. They're giving the ball away cheaply, Monza. Esposito able to lead the charge on the counter-attack. Falls now to Martinez. Martinez to Esposito. About 25 yards out, goes to the left, and Barella, right-footed, comes inside on his right foot. Can he get a shot in? No, looks to play the back heel to DeMarco when he'd been better off shooting. DeMarco was overlapping. Barella tried to feed him in when he could have had a go himself. And Monza come away with the ball. That's nice feet in the middle of the park from Ondua. Keeps possession, gets it to Kalpani. Kalpani tries to arrow one into Varela, who made another good run, but one in the air by Akanji. Good defensive cover again from the Swiss. Bastoni out to the left-hand side. DeMarco back into his own half. Just turns, gives it back to Alessandro Bastoni, 27-year-old Italian international defender. So crucial to how Kivu likes Inter to play. Diouf, left-footed right wing-back, touches it back to Bisek, the German. And it's all the way across to Bastoni once again. DeMarco plays infield. Nice little change of angle there. Martinez tried to help it back round the corner. That was going to be the longest distance 1-2 of the day. Has DeMarco been fouled there? Potentially, actually. Let's have a look. Just trying to see what the referee's given. There's going to be a substitution either way. It's a double change, I think, for Inter, in fact. Who's coming on to the field of play? That looks like... Oh, no, actually, cameras... Bonnie's coming on, I believe. As is the number 8, Sucic. Is that Lautaro Martinez coming on? It might well be, yeah. Lautaro Martinez is on. And Joan Boni, the Ivory Coast striker. He is on for the Inter captain. And athletic player is Boni. Another player is going to hold the ball up well alongside Esposito. And Chaniloglu is the other one coming off. And he is being replaced, as I said, by... Betar Sucic, the Croatian, number 8, 22 years old. Sucic, he's often the backup to Chaniloglu, and a bit of a breakout star last season, in fairness. And I think Giuseppe Marotta, the Inter president, has rejected a few bids from English clubs, believing that the future of Inter's midfield is in fact Sucic, so he's on the field of play now. Ball's played forward to Esposito. He touches it off to Diouf. Diouf trying to hook his way in. Oh, it's a lovely little flick at the near post, and it is Esposito. He scored the third. He's deserved that for the work he's put in so far today, and that was a very cheeky little finish from the 21-year-old Italian. Diouf wriggled his way to the byline, just poked the ball into the 6-yard box. So much for Esposito to do, because there wasn't really a great deal of pace on the ball in from Diouf either. And he just flicks it with the inside of his left foot behind him. And it's gone in the back of the net. And I'm going to have to say again, I think the goalkeeper could have done better. Let's look back at this one on my monitor. Esposito originally made the move to the near post. In fact, he's flicked it with his right heel. Diouf did well. Yeah, goalkeeper again, wrong-footed. Great bit of improvisation by Esposito, but there's no way the goalkeeper should be getting beaten by that from there. And it's a 3-1 advantage now to the league champions. They lead Monza in the Lombardy derby. They've just rested Lautaro Martinez. He's gone off 2 minutes before. Esposito straight away adds a third goal. And after 56 minutes, it's a 2-goal advantage for Kivu's Inter Milan. Monza, they look so solid in the first period. They'll be looking at their goalkeeping options in coming weeks, because Pizzignacio has not covered himself in glory here at the San Siro this early evening. And what a beautiful early evening it is here. 29 degrees or so, I would say, if I was to guess at the moment. Just a light breeze going across the pitch. It's a bit of a hurricane coming the way of Monza at the moment. They are 3-1 behind, and Esposito's last goal was only 91 days ago in the league. 3-3 draw with Bologna. And, he'll be very pleased to open his account for the 2026-2027 season. Big season for Esposito, I think, to show that he can be the main partner to Lautaro Martinez. Here come Inter again, once more down the left-hand side. DeMarco gets a chance to look in. Look to the goalkeeper, just advancing off his line. Try to beat him with sort of one of those cross-come-shot type efforts, but not really going the way that DeMarco wanted. So Monza play out from the back from the goal kick. Looks play forward, but well won in the midfield straight away by Sucic. Sucic gets a touch, gives it to Bastoni. Bastoni back to DeMarco. Into the middle of the park where Zielinski picks it up. He helps it round the corner. Nice turn by Barella, who's taken on the captain's armband. Plays it out to the right-hand side, and Diouf sprints through the middle of the pitch. That's a good ball into Barella, but Barella's touch has let him down that time, and Mount is able to get on the ball once again. Plays it down the left-hand side, looking for Barella. Barella battles with Akanji. It's not the first time we've said that today, and Barella comes out with the ball. Not the first time I've said that today. No foul on Barella, though, as Bastoni comes in. Ball goes out to the right-hand side, and Colpani goes down the right wing, but has his progress stopped by DiMarco. So will Kivu take the opportunity to blood some of the substitutes? Could be an opportunity to get some minutes into John Stones. No Jed Spence on the bench today, and no Curtis Jones either. But Pavard, Thuram, big name options on the substitutes bench still to maybe get some minutes into, as this game seems to be going very much in their favour. Sucic plays forward, nice ball into Boni. Boni holds it up, touches it off again, left to DeMarco. DeMarco patiently keeps possession, goes back to Bastoni, gets it back again. DeMarco now out left to Boni, right on the left-hand touchline. He tries to accelerate past Bakun, but Bakun stands his ground very nicely. Gets in the way, wins the throw-in himself. Just seeing Laurent Clamsey in on my screen there, the Monza chairwoman. She'll have been pleased with the first half, not so pleased with the second. Here comes Zielinski, breaks into penalty area, but that's going to run through to Pizzignacio. Pizzignacio, I mean, it was his senior debut last weekend against Avellino. And it might be a bit of a wait before he gets his second Serie A appearance. It's a nice touch by Colpani. Tries to get away from Bastoni. Bastoni just oozing class there. Was beaten by the first touch by the winger, but then just stepped across and like a Rolls Royce just glided back into position. Lovely ball forward from Bastoni as well. Well held up by Boni. Boni's made the ball stick immediately since coming on as sub. Plays it back to Josep Martinez in goal. Martinez quick ball to Bisek. Bisek out wide right to Diouf. Diouf helps it round the corner. Nice little ball into Pio Esposito. Gets it back again and it comes off the back of Esposito as Diouf tried to set him down the right hand side. 2 assists from Diouf today. Started on that right wing. Just seeing John Stones warming up fully. Looks like he will get a run out at some point, make his Inter debut, or his competitive debut I should say. I think he got on the score sheet in one of the pre-season friendlies recently. Lovely touch to bring the ball down by Sucic in the midfield. Ball goes right to Diouf. Diouf inside once more, then plays back to Bisek. Akanji just drops deeper, offers himself for the pass, but Bisek plays it forward to Esposito, holds it up brilliantly once again. So impressed with his hold-up play. Lovely little touch-off as well, very classy from Esposito. Into Diouf, slightly more inverted from the right wing-back position now. He plays into Sucic. Sucic has got to the tempo of the game so easily. He's dictating things from the middle of the park now, and Zielinski plays back to Bastoni. Bastoni, a couple of looks forward, waits for Monza to move out. They don't, so he just plays it to the right-hand side, and Bisek, little ball into Diouf. Diouf plays it across to Boni. Boni deeper now, plays it across once more. Nice patient build-up here from Inter. Sucic inside the centre circle, touches it off to his right, gets it back again. Up into Esposito, turns. Diouf has come in from the right wing now. He's got a chance to shoot. He scored. It's 4-4 Inter. That's a lovely goal by Bisek. In fact, it wasn't Diouf. Bisek came running in from the right centre-back position and has driven it in with his left foot from about 20 yards. That was the finish of an out-and-out striker. Goalkeeper question marks once again, getting beaten at his near post like that. But what a fine finish from Jan-Orel Bisek. History will suggest that he was a bargain buy from AGF in Denmark back in 2023, just 6 million euros, and he has come racing forward, and that is a lovely finish. Again, got to look at the goalkeeper, but Esposito with a really good bit of hold-up play, touches it off. Maybe a slight deflection that time. I might be being harsh on the goalkeeper. Oh no, in fact, big deflection. Now I see it back on my monitor again. Huge deflection off the covering defender. I think it was Lucchesi doing his best there to try and throw the left leg across. It's come off him, and that's the reason this one's gone past Pizzignaccio. But it is 4-1 to Inter Milan. 64 minutes played here. No way back from Monza in this one now. It's all about damage limitation and how much energy Inter feel like expending at the end of this game. I say at the end, there's 25 minutes left to play. It could get worse for Monza. They now get down the left-hand side themselves with Birindelli, but that's comfortably won in the end by Bisek, who's just scored that goal. Now he brings the ball out of defence, full of confidence. Looks to play it into Diouf. Esposito looks to help it around the corner, but it's gone out of play, and it's a throw-in to Monza. Also promising for Monza in that first period. They played tight, they played disciplined. They've been unpicked a little bit too easily in this second period, and that's a long ball played forward, which Akanji and Bisek just comes over, wins it comfortably, touches it over to Zielinski. Zielinski drifts past one, turns back, gives it back to Bisek. Bisek across to Akanji. Bastoni right out here on the left touchline at the moment. Doesn't get the ball as Akanji goes back central to Bisek. Zielinski dropping right into the defensive line to get the ball. How so many inter-attacks start with one or two midfielders replacing defenders in the back line to get on the ball. Defenders move forward, which allows Inter to get players further up the pitch quicker. Martinez opts to go long, quite a long straight ball up towards Esposito again, holds it up, and that's another good little layoff looking for Boni, but Cover comes in from Coadio. He's done all right at the back there, Coadio, in fairness. He's certainly got no fingers pointing at him for the reason that the team are losing. Throwing goes into Esposito. He touches it off to Bonnie. Bonnie tries to find space. Does shoot with his right foot. Comes off Carboni. Goes back out of the penalty area again. That was a nice bit of play by Bonnie to manufacture the space to get the shot away. Gets the ball in from the throw-in himself. Plays back to Sucic. Sucic goes all the way across. Zielinski in the centre circle now. Turns, goes central, gives it into Barella. Barella plays it across to Akanji. Akanji's all the way out to Bonnie, who's playing as a left winger in this moment. Now starts to drift infield, looking to get on his right foot again. Tries to cross, deflected off the Monza player. Goes out for a corner kick. 66.5 minutes gone here at the San Siro. Inter lead Monza by 4 goals to 1. They've got a corner kick on this near hand side. They're left as they attack. DeMarco's about to take the corner kick. Just tell you that Como have equalised against Udinese in the other Serie A game. That's a header off the crossbar. I think it was Akanji who got up for that. Corner came in from DeMarco. Akanji headed the ball. Comes off the crossbar. No, Diouf in fact. Diouf came in behind Akanji. Got the header. Comes off the frame of the Monza goal once again. And don't forget, this is an unofficial commentary here. Do check your local broadcast if you want to watch the game on TV, but we'll be taking you through the rest of the game here. About 25 minutes left, I would say, including injury time in this Italian top division game. Ball's played forward, won by Carboni. This time Esposito has wrestled him to the floor. Free kick is given. Is it? No, the referee's actually decided to play on, has he? Yeah, he has said play on. One in the air, headed down, but Mount picks it up in midfield once again. Nice little ball, reversed out to Carboni, gets it back again. Mount now starts on the halfway line, drifts, gives it out left again to Carboni. Carboni comes forward, touches it down the line. That's going to be offside, I would imagine, looking at the way the Inter line has held their line. And yep, Marinelli blows the whistle, flags up on this near-hand side. It was Birindilli who just went a little bit too soon. Just seeing that header, a goal from Diouf once again. Just came in behind Akanji, got a great contact on the ball, Diouf, but hit the crossbar. Good break forward by Bonnie, brought down by Coadio, who's tracking him to the right-hand side. Bonnie's hit the deck and is rolling around on the floor. Coadio is into the notebook of Marinelli, so that's the first Monza player to be booked in this game. I wonder if Kivu replaced Martinez and Chaniologlu purely or based on the fact that they were the two Inter players booked in the first half. Coadio is now the only player on the pitch currently with a yellow card to his name. There's going to be a triple change, I think, coming up now for the away team. Copani has made his way over. Mount is making his way over as well. Catroni's coming on. Galazzi's coming on. Forson's coming on. So, triple change by Juric. Galazzi will be on into midfield. Catroni and Forson will be more attacking. Bakuni's gone off, so Catroni's technically come on for Bakun. Let's see what happens in terms of shape. Ball played forward, looking for the run of Bonnie. Goes through to the goalkeeper, Pizzignaccio. Bowls it out to his right-hand side and played forward nicely. Oh, Varela just coming back from an offside position. That's sloppy there from Varela. It looked like he'd brought the ball down really nicely, but just needed to concentrate a little bit more on where he started. Can't afford continual sloppiness in the second half, can Monza. Just waiting for their change of shape from the away team to be confirmed. In the meantime, it doesn't really matter because it's Inter in possession very, very comfortably indeed. A They've had 72% of possession, which tells its own story. Monza trying to defend in a solid shape, but not even that's not worked in the second half. They achieved it well in the first and got a goal for their troubles. But now they've got a chance to quickly attack. But that's a poor touch by Foe Ondoa. And now DeMarco's got the opportunity to run into space. Left-footed, comes forward, touches it around the outside. Confusion between Boni and Sucic. Sucic now gets it. He's looking for options. He's in the penalty area, looking for movement. Clips it to the far side of the area. Barella brings it down, tries to get past. Xabi Mangas does get past him, puts the ball into the box, but Pignaccio able to comfortably collect that one. And we are going to see an Italian top division debut for John Stones, wearing number 6, the England international, the former Manchester City man. He's going to be coming onto the field of play. Just going to wait and see who he has come on for. Is it a double change potentially? Could well be a double change actually by Kivu. We'll wait and see. Martinez has the ball in his own area. That nearly went into Cutroni's path, I should say. Played short to Zielinski. Zielinski turns around once, turns around twice. Plays forward. Nice straight ball into Esposito. Again, just lays it off into midfield. Nice forward back and through here from Inter. They've been doing that quite a lot. Getting the ball into Esposito. His nice little touches off. Gets the ball into midfield, and then suddenly they can break through that way. They've got the ball on the right-hand side now. Barella just calmly just takes control, gives it back to Akanji. Akanji plays another ball into the forward path of Boni. Boni, little 1-2 with Esposito, now moves out to the left-hand side. Boni comes back inside on his right foot. Tried to help it through to the run of Zielinski, but that's cut out by Monza. They're trying to bring the ball out now. Coming out down the left-hand side. Xabi Mangas holding the ball up. Looks like Birindelli's come over to the right-hand side now. Xabi Mangas may be playing as a left wing back. Cutroni going through the middle alongside Gustavo Varela. Juric is going to have to pull off one of the tactical masterstrokes with this reshuffle if they're going to get themselves back in the game. Inter in absolute cruise control. Ball up into Boni. Comes off him this time, and Esposito tries to win it back. Is unable to do so. The ball goes back to Pignaccio. Dressed all in yellow in the Monza goal. Quadio has it in the right back area. Gives it to Forsen. Forsen lays it back into midfield, and Forsen joins Monza a couple of years ago now, in fact, on a free transfer from Manchester United. Just the one goal in his 13 appearances here in Italy. Offside, and I think we're going to see the substitutions be made now. And Luis Hernandez is coming on, as is John Stones. Marinelli asking the substitutions to get made quickly. It's Diouf who's going to be coming off. Tracy's being replaced, and it's Akanji. So one former Manchester City player replacing another former Manchester City player at the heart of the Inter defence. John Stones is coming on. Diouf and Akanji off. John Stones on to the field of play alongside the Brazilian Luis Enrique. It'll be interesting to see how Stones, a player that I've admired for many years, how he instantly settles into the style of play here in Italy. Galazzi gets on the ball in the centre of the park. He comes forward. Little touch out to the feet of Carboni, who's moving past him. Carboni tries to go past Luis Enrique, and he wins the tackle. The Brazilian straight away. Quick throw taken to Galazzo across to Foe Ondoa. Foe Ondoa moves it across now to Forsen. Forsen's got a bit of space, so has a little run, gives it out to Birindelli on the right wing. He tries to clip one in left-footed. This is a nice bit of running here by Xabi Mendes. Plays back to Forson, gets it back again. Cutrone across. Oh, and that was an opportunity there for the Monza player in the middle of the goal. Didn't get his touch. It goes through to Josep Martinez, but that was nice from Monza. Cutrone with a good bit of movement. Put a ball into the dangerous area. I think it was Galazzi who made his run from midfield, but he was unable to finish. Inter pinch it back in the Monza half, having their shirt tugged. Good play by Boni, still having his shirt tugged by Coadio. He's got to be careful there because he's been booked already. Monza clean up in the end, get the ball out to the right-hand side, and Birindelli takes a touch, plays it infield to Forson. Forson left-footed, tries to switch it all the way out to the left wing. He's done so quite nicely, in fact. Now here comes Xabi Mendes drifting infield, plays it down the outside. Here comes the cross, headed away well by Bisek. Bisek then plays it into midfield. Oh, they've given it away. No free kick has been given. That looked like Monza were about to skip in there and have a little run, but I think it's Barella who's hit the deck, having taken a knock from behind. To see that back on my monitor, and Varela just being a little bit too keen to keep his team in the Inter area, but in fact just ended up bundling into the Italian midfielder. Ball played forward, one in midfield again by Monza. They've brightened up a little bit, it has to be said. Ball goes out to the left and Carboni takes a touch, plays infield to Cutrone. Cutrone gives it back to Carboni once again. Little ball into Galazzi, who's been as keen to get on the ball as Mount was before him. Throw it on Dua, goes out to Forson. Forson, all left foot from the right-hand side. Quick ball infield to Galazzi. Galazzi looks for a movement in front of him. Thinks about having a shot, beats a man again. Now thinks about having a shot, and this time the shot goes up and over the crossbar of Josep Martinez, but good bit of play there by Galazzi. Just dropped the shoulder, gave himself a fraction more room, tried to power it towards the top corner, but couldn't get his shot on target. Inter come down the left-hand side with DeMarco, played forward to Boni. Boni's beaten in the air by Coadio, just stood his ground quite nicely there. The right central defender of Monza, Kivu, cutting a much more relaxed figure now than he was in the first 45 minutes. Massively helped by the goalkeeping error by Pizzignaccio at the start of the second half. His poor punch just put it onto the right foot of Zielinski, and he didn't even have to make a clean contact, and the ball went in the back of the net. Very comfortable for Inter from that moment onwards, in all fairness. Throw in, taken down the line by Bastoni. Helped on by Boni, comfortably picked up by Coadio. He launches a high ball forwards. John Stones gets under it, little header, cushioned header forwards, goes out of play. Cutrone has the ball in his hands. He takes the throw in, plays it down the line. Varela trying to wriggle away from Stones. Stones very comfortably just takes a touch, plays it back to his goalkeeper Martinez. In fact, it wasn't that comfortable. It's gone out for a corner. Stones looking to do the right thing. Martinez slightly on his heels, if anything, and it's a corner kick to Monza. Maybe a few little early nerves there for John Stones. Doesn't matter how many times he played for Manchester City, how many times he's played for England. This is all new to him today. In comes the corner. Swung into the near post, headed away by Inter. Back into the area by Birindelli. He's bouncing around. Now Inter come away with the ball, and Zielinski chips one down the left looking for DeMarco. He's found him. DeMarco, great touch to bring the ball under his spell. Now has it on that left foot of his. Switches it all the way over to the right-hand side. Has he found the on-rushing Luis Enrique? He has done. The Brazilian spins, comes back inside, keeps possession of the ball very nicely. Plays it out to the right-hand side now, where Barella has overloaded on that right flank. Gives it back inside to the substitute, Luis Enrique. He gets it again down the right-hand side. Just steps over the ball a couple of times, looks for movement. Now comes inside on the left foot. Little touch with the right foot into Sucic. That was a heavy ball back from Sucic, but Luis Enrique does well. Gets it back outside to Barella. Barella just retreats back deeper in the Monza half, slowing it all down now. Then helps it round the corner. Sucic takes another heavy touch, but gets away with it. Pops it to Stones. Stones out to Bastoni. DeMarco just comes in field, turns onto his left foot, looks for options. Doesn't have anything obvious, so keeps it simple. Gives it back to Zielinski. Zielinski infield to Bissek. Stones has interestingly almost moved into a holding midfield position in possession there. Now he gets the ball inside the centre circle. We're seeing something tactically creative here from Kivu Owanda. Stones has definitely moved into a holding midfield position in possession of the ball. Barella plays back to Zielinski. Zielinski's playing a good 20 yards deeper than John Stones. John Stones is into the penalty area here. He's to the right of the box. He pulls it back. It's just intercepted by Foe Ondua. John Stones not just playing as a defensive midfielder, playing as an 8 there. Getting down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Fascinating from the Inter point of view. He's on the ball again, sweeps it out to the right-hand side. Cross comes in from Bastoni. Goalkeeper comes and claims, gathers it into his chest. Pizzignaccio comes to the edge of his box, just drops it down on the floor for Carboni. Carboni moves the ball out quite quickly, moves through the thirds, gets into the halfway line now, then rolls it off to his left, and Xabi Mangas. Mangas down the line looking for Carboni, continued his run, but pinched. Now Barella has it in midfield for Inter. Ball into Boni. Boni plays it back to Barella. Barella has DeMarco to his left, turns, opts to keep possession, then gives it to DeMarco to his left-hand side. And DeMarco's put the ball out of play. There's an injury somewhere on the pitch. Can't see quite where, but Stankovic is coming on, number 5. So a change from Monza first. Varela is being substituted. He's had a decent game, Varela, in the context of it. Jay Robinson on loan from Southampton. He's coming on now. Who's that going off for Inter? Zielinski? Yeah, Zielinski's being replaced by Stankovic now for the home team. So 7.5 minutes plus stoppages left at the end of this one. Esposito, is he coming off too? He's just gone over to get some fluid. Looks like he's just gone over to get some fluid on board. So Esposito looks like he's going to complete the game. Throw in taken, given back to Inter. Zielinski's put a good shift in this game. Stones plays it out to the left-hand side. Bastoni plays forward. Boni holds it up again. Holds it up well once again. Little ball into Barella. Barella helps around the corner. Esposito tries to release Boni in behind. Quadio does well to touch it back to Pizzignaccio. Just slows it down. Comes to the edge of his box. Moves the ball out to Carboni. Wider to Xabi Mangas. Mangas round the corner to Galazzi. Galazzi, good little link up with Cutroni. Cutroni back to Xabi Mangas. Mangas drifts. Gives the ball to Foe Ondua. Ondua, big switch out to the right-hand side. Birindelli brings that ball down really nicely. Crosses early, all the way in. Confusion between Stones and Martinez again, but Stones did the right thing, headed the ball away. Brought down in midfield. Played forward into Esposito. Esposito turns once again. He's being wrestled there by Lucchesi, and I think Lucchesi's going to find himself in the box, in the book, not in the box, in the book. He does indeed. And Esposito's been winning that battle since the very first minute, and Lucchesi really not able to keep up with the striker physically. He was all over him that time, tugging his shirt, pulling his shirt. Nice little 1-2. In the middle of the park by Inter. Ball's moved over now to Bissek. Bissek, of course, has got the 4th goal. He comes running forward, touches it out to the right-hand side. Luis Enrique gets it on the right foot, low across the 6-yard box, hooked away by Lucchesi. Goes out for an Inter throw-in on the far-hand side. Bissek quickly over there. He's going to take it. 5 minutes plus stoppages at the end of this game. At the San Siro, it's going to be a winning start for Inter Milan. We know that much. They're getting their title defence off to the best possible start. Still 1-1 between Udinese and Como in the other game that is taking place at the same time in Italy's top division this afternoon. Stones touches it into midfield where Sucic takes control. Gets the ball back again, plays it across to Bastoni. Bastoni switches it out to DeMarco. DeMarco opens up, plays it right-footed. Looking for Esposito, but just comes off Birindelli, and that's a throw in to the champions. He will be much happier with what he's seen in this period as opposed to the first. Can they find another goal? Chelsea actually picked up a yellow card when he was fouling Esposito a couple of moments ago. That's just been confirmed on my monitor. Carboni's run the most in this game. He's been trying to get forward from that left central defensive position quite often. He's done 11.5 kilometres in this game. Martinez, though my eyes struggle to identify the goalkeeper because of this colour clash that I've been going on about for the entire game. Bizarre choice by Inter to stick their goalkeeper in a shirt that really cannot be differentiated between his shirt and the outfield players. Free kick to Inter on the halfway line. Esposito once more wrestled to the floor. The cramp in the centre circle as well for one of the Monza players. That is Lucchese, who's now back to his feet, and he was the one wrestling Esposito once again. Bearing in mind he's been booked for that a few moments ago, and he's got to be very careful, otherwise he'll be getting himself sent off. And in fact, I think we're going to see a change. Delicari is going to come on now for, I'm presuming, Lucchese. That would be the most intelligent thing for Djuric to do. Yeah, it is Lucchese who's being replaced with 3 minutes on the clock. Delicari is going to come on to see out the game at centre-back, purely to protect his defensive colleague from picking up an injury or maybe even a second yellow. The Monza fans still in fine voice, many of them shirtless here, enjoying themselves despite the result. They're just pleased to be back in the top division for sure. And briefly would have hoped they might have been able to escape with a point, given how well they played in the first half, but they've been taken apart in the second by this Inter team. Favourites to win the division again this year. Lead by 4-1 with 2 minutes to go. Ball played through to Boni, couldn't get the ball under control, runs through to Pizzignaccio. Once more, Carboni gets on the ball, coming forward from the left central back position, plays forward, but I would imagine Cutrone is offside here as he runs towards the penalty area. But they're going on, he's got past Stones, gets a shot in. Martinez makes the save. Does the flag come up? Yeah, flag finally goes up. Nice to see all the little subtle changes made in football between one season and the next, yet they're still insisting on such a late flag when it is so clearly obvious that Cutrone was 3 yards behind the Inter backline there as he's running towards goal. So free kick for, and I think that's the point that Chivu's making on the sidelines there to the fourth official. Just doesn't see the point of the game going on there. If it's close, yeah, of course, see the move out. But if you're an assistant referee and you can't see that as being offside, then with all due respect, you probably shouldn't have the flag in your hand in the first place. But other things have been done this season and to try and speed the game up. Substitutions have to happen a lot quicker. 5-second countdown will start at the referee's discretion on throw-ins and free kicks if he or she feels like there's potential time wasting taking place. If a goalkeeper goes down injured, like they were doing quite a lot last season, as an opportune moment for players to receive tactical instructions from the coaching, well, the goalkeeper won't have to go off, but an outfield player will have to for a minute, which is acting as the deterrent for that bit of skullduggery from head coaches. Free kick to Inter. Once again, Monza have been flagged offside. And we're heading towards injury time now. It's a beautiful evening here in Milan, and it's not been a beautiful performance by Inter, but it's been more than good enough as they look to take their first 3 points in this title defence at the start of the new season. Just waiting to see how much injury time is going to be put up as Sucic loses out to Foe Ondua. He sprints forward. First time we really see Foe Ondua break from midfield. Forsen plays in field to Galazzi. Galazzi spins, keeps possession. First touch for Robinson, really. Tried to play through to Foe Ondua, but has that come off DeMarco? Maybe. I think it has done. 3 minutes of injury time here. It's going to be a corner to Monza. Djuric is in the dugout now, not looking as animated as he was doing previously. I think he realises that this game has passed Monza by, but they've got an opportunity here to get a second goal from this set piece. In it comes from Forsen, swung in, headed away by John Stones, and DeMarco looks to sprint forward. He does get the ball under control, plays it in quickly to the feet of Sucic. Sucic gets a crunching tackle in from Guardia. That was a good tackle by the defender. Monza just about pinch it back again in midfield with Foe onto her, but now Inter are able to slow it all down once more. Bastoni arcs the ball out to the left-hand side to DeMarco. DeMarco slows it down. He's in no rush now. He knows there's only 2 minutes left to play in this one, and I think Inter will just look to keep possession in their own half and wind the clock down. That's certainly what they're looking to do, as Bastoni touches it off to Stones. Stones drifts across, gives it to Stankovic. Stankovic into Barella, and Monza are just walking now. They're not looking to close this down. The referee could easily call time now and nobody would mind, given that the game has gone down to walking play. Suddenly, as soon as I say that, though, Inter start playing with a little bit more tempo as they've moved the ball into an attacking position. It's out with DeMarco. DeMarco crosses all the way across goal and it's hooked away, and I think then Esposito tried to divert the clearance with a diving header. I think it's gone out for a goal kick. Let's have a look at it again. DeMarco all the way over. Yeah, in fact, it was Xabi Mangas at the back just hooking the ball away. Esposito threw himself at the ball, was unable to deflect it home. That would have been even more embarrassing for Monza had that one been number 5. Lovely ball again from DeMarco. He can't quite believe that the 5th hasn't been scored by Inter Milan. They're probably going to have to do with 4 today, because we've got 45 seconds left on the clock. The goal kick goes long. Stones wins the header, heads it into midfield. Sucic plays forward towards Esposito. My man of the match today, Esposito. I think he's been excellent for Inter in that attacking line. Goes through to Pignaccio. And Monza come over the halfway line, probably for the last time today. 20 seconds left on the clock. Rolled out to Xabi Mangas on the wing. He comes in field before giving it out wider to Robinson. Robinson plays back to Forsen. Forsen skips past 1, skips past 2, gives it away. John Stones reads it well into Stankovic. Stankovic loses out though. Little dinked ball towards the area, headed away by Bisek. And is that the final whistle? I believe it is. The Inter players are celebrating. The game is over. Kivu's team get off to a convincing start here at the San Siro. They've won this game by 4-1. Complete dominance, really, when you break it down. They started well in the first half with Hakan Çalhanoğlu opening the scoring after just 6 minutes. Varela equalised on the half-hour mark for Monza, but straight after half-time, Pietro Zielinski made it 2-1. Pierre Esposito made it 3-1, and Jan Bisek made it 4 in the 63rd minute, allowing Inter just to cruise through to the final whistle. So Monza get their first taste of what it's going to be like in this Italian top flight this season. Inter get their title defence off to a winning start. I've been Chris Beaumont. I hope you've enjoyed today's coverage. I'll be back very soon with more live